Hi. So welcome to the show. You can probably see me for 2.5 more minutes before disaster strikes. We plan on talking about external free agents we'd like to see the Bengals sign. And Ron, what do you got? Because I'm very pissed off.
Yeah. Okay. So some technical difficulties, but as you guys know, we always get over those, whether it be shoddy camera work or bad sound. We are not Hollywood stars. As Drew alluded to, though, we're going to be talking about free agents outside of the Cincinnati Bengals uniform. So, what's going to happen here is I'll probably let Drew go first. Since his camera's having some issues, so we can get him talking about his guys, an offensive guy we'd love to sign, a defensive guy we'd love to sign, and then also a dream wild card or unrealistic guy that both of us maybe would love to see on the team. So, Drew, just roll right into your guys. And if we got to have a shorter show today, we got to have a shorter show today.
I can't even blame Spectrum. Every time I've plugged this camera in since we've been doing this, it just
Well,
works. And today it's not. I'm surprised it's still on now. Maybe I accidentally fixed something in our 15-minute delay. Zach told me I look sexy. So before the camera does go off, I want to point out my barber was in his bag this evening. It's trial run, test run before wedding haircut. So I appreciate the
okay.
compliment, Zach. I'll take the hard eyes. We won't even make it weird. Um, Now, dude, I was in such a good mood today. Now I'm just really thrown off by this technology situation.
Roll
If
back
there's a
into it.
producer, if there's a producer tech guy out there that is interested in working for no money,
Yeah.
please get in touch with us. But I'm going to go into the first offensive free agent that I would like to see the Bengals sign, and that is right tackle Jermaine Illuminor, is how I believe you pronounce it. And he was just there was that video of that nerdy kid talking about how Joe Burrow's not good. The kid with the long hair, he's like whispering because he doesn't want to make it like wake his mom up because she won't let him play Fortnite if he wakes her up or whatever.
Dork.
Yeah, you see that? You know what I'm talking about? I don't even know his username. I
Yep.
don't want to give him credit because it was stupid. Well, Illuminor sees the tweet somehow, and I don't have the exact quote, but in so many words or less, he pretty much says that that guy that made the video is a nerd. He also says that Joe Burrow has changed the franchise. He has said that he turned the culture around. He just praised Joe Burrow over and over again. Now, he's a pending free agent coming from the Raiders. He also is on record saying that he wants to play for a team that can beat the Chiefs on a regular basis. He has said that. Now, we know Joe Burrow is the only active quarterback in the NFL to beat Patrick Mahomes in the postseason. The other one was Brady. He's gone. He's retired. So he probably sees the value there. He's coming off his 7th year. He was playing for like $1.8 million last year, I believe. So not a crazy contract either. Um, and it doesn't stop the Bengals from drafting a right tackle like a Tyrese Fugawa from Oregon State, who I really, really like. But it is a veteran presence. If he loses his job to a rookie, it's depth and it would be cheap. And not big on PFF grades, as I've said, but our guy Zim had put on Twitter that if Illuminor was a Bengal last year, he would have been the highest graded offensive lineman we had. So the guy obviously played a pretty solid year last year. So that's a guy that I would really like to see shore up the trenches, have a little bit of depth if needed, and you can still draft a rookie because you don't have to pay this guy a bunch of money.
I like it. Yeah, he's a guy I think that people talked about potentially having on the team last year.
Yes.
I know his name was thrown around in different circles. I would call that a B plus A signing there, right? You're getting a guy that can come in and probably start right away on the offensive line, if not make another guy's life hell in a competitive practice setting. So, dude, Illuminor is a win all around. Roll right into your defensive player. I want to make sure we can capture you before you potentially get kicked off here screen wise.
I don't even want to say it out loud because I'll jinx it. So yeah, we'll just keep rolling.
Yep. Keep going.
Next up, my defensive free agent signing that I would like, and I'm not a homer here, like I may sound like, but it is a Michigan man. But it's Josh Uche because the Bengals need pass rush help. Um,
Oh,
Trey Hendrickson, great. Sam Hubbard, great. Behind them, not much. You got a little bit out of Miles Murphy, but the Bengals need somebody who can come in on a third down, pin his ears back, and go get the passer. That's exactly what Josh Uche does. That's why I would like to see him be a free agent that the Bengals target. He's just get off and go. He's speed, he's motor, he's power. That's it. He's not going to be a great run defender. That's fine. That's not what we need him for. We need somebody that can rotate in, come in on that third down, the obvious passing downs, and just go get the quarterback. Josh Uche is that guy, and he's probably going to play on a 1-year deal. I saw a projection for about $8 million, I think, which for a good edge rusher, that's not bad. He's probably looking at a prove it deal just because things have been so bad in New England. I think people want to see more tape on him. The projections have been a prove it deal at like $8 million. Hubbard, Hendrickson, Miles Murphy, Josh Uche. That's the play for me. That's my defensive free agent I would like to see them sign.
yeah, I love that as well. A go after it and get it type of guy. If there's one thing that I am pounding the table for this offseason, it is the ability to stuff the middle of the line and then pass rush. It's one thing to get back there and touch the quarterback's jersey, but it's another thing to put his ass in the dirt. Roll right into your wild card unrealistic signing, and I want to hear this one.
We're going to blow through this show quick. I want to get to something on Uche first real quick because Mike Cannon just said, what can he do on downs 1 and 2? And I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm going to make myself big just while I have the chance. And I'll do it when you're making your points too. But so when you ask me, what can he do on downs 1 and 2? I don't give a shit. All right. Hendrickson's there. Hubbard's there for down 1 and 2. We need a pass rush rotation guy that can get in there and make havoc on those third and long, obvious passing situations where you can have fresh legs. I don't care what he does on first and second down because I'm going to pay the guy to go in on third down and just get the quarterback. Even if you go on one of those sets where you take a defensive end and you put him in the middle because it's just a straight pass rush set, he could do that too. Murphy could do that too. You could bring your whole pass rush defensive line in and go for it on third down. First and second down, don't give a shit. So that's the point there. Now my mouse isn't going to act like it's working. There we go. We're back. We're going to bring Ron back. Ron, you sound phenomenal today, and you look pretty damn good too. You got camera and audio good today. So maybe we're going to get this thing off without a hitch.
Yeah, I stole your thunder, man. I just stole your thunder there. Yeah, there's really nothing to add, right? I mean, what you just said there is absolutely perfect. Downs 1 and 2 are great, but I want to stop them when it matters and put the quarterback in the dirt when it matters. If you don't have anything else to add to Uche, roll right into your kind of wild card signing. And there's a couple things we can talk about beyond these free agents as well. Some new coaching hires. So don't feel like we're rushing through this.
So wildly unrealistic, but some people have talked about this and some people have shown how the numbers for it could actually work out. And I got to be honest with you. Maybe it's not that unrealistic, but I don't think it's going to happen because it's going to cost a shitload of money.
Yeah.
But it's Chris Jones.
Yeah.
Take him from the Chiefs. We need an interior rusher. What is that? I'm like quite literally in the middle of something though. What was that? Yeah. So you could take him from. I was given a cookie at a peculiar time, but
yeah,
I look forward to tasting that.
Chow down.
So yeah, I think it's wildly unrealistic. People have shown how the money can work and how the Bengals could do it, even with the T. Higgins extension. I've seen people do it. I'm not a cap guy, but somebody's manipulated it and figured it out. But let's say you lose Reader, or you don't. You still need a guy that can go rush the passer on third down. And Chris Jones is maybe the best interior pass rushing defensive lineman in the game that's not named Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald's Aaron Donald until proven otherwise. I totally get that.
Yeah.
So maybe it is unrealistic. Some people have said it's not unrealistic, but Chris Jones in stripes would get me going.
Yeah, I've got mixed feelings about this one. As a player, yep, bring him on all day. He adds an insane amount of value and an insane amount of skill on the field. There's just bad blood, so I don't know. I don't know that it could happen. He's a free agent. Money aside, right? I don't know. Money's fine. They could figure it out if they really wanted to grab the guy. That's a tough one. We had Orlando Brown Jr. come and play, and he's a Bengal now, and he loves it here. So I could just be talking out of my fourth point of contact here, but the bad blood between these two teams just makes me think he will not end up in stripes. Again, as a player, bring it on. Let's go. If DJ Reader ends up not working out, Chris Jones is certainly a good replacement. I got nothing to add beyond that. He's an awesome football player, but I don't know. There's no love lost there.
Is there that much bad blood, though, between Chris Jones specifically and the Bengals? Bengals play the Chiefs this year. Browning starting, obviously Burrow's out. Chris Jones comes up to Burrow like, love you, bro. We're sad that you're not playing. The game misses you. Like, he clearly loves and respects Joe Burrow. I know that we have the hatred with the Chiefs fans thing going on, and I understand that. But I don't know that there's like, there's been some bad blood with the Justin Reeds from the Chiefs or the L'Jarius Sneed from the Chiefs and, the beef with Chase or whatever. But like Chris Jones specifically really seems like a guy that really likes Burrow, probably really respects the Bengals. So I'm not sure that it would be that bad of bad blood. And you know what? We got Orlando Brown. He loves it here. He could maybe recruit his boy Chris Jones over. Maybe it's not as unrealistic as I think, but that would be a dream scenario. Chris Jones in stripes would make me go crazy. Now, he is, I think, at or almost 30. Would be a third contract. Bengals don't typically like that, but are they going to tag Higgins and say, fuck, forget it, we're going all in, just like the Rams did when they won a Super Bowl by beating the Bengals, or we're going to break our mold and we're going to not do what we usually do and we're going to take the chance on this guy? And if he did, look out, dude, because imagine being Kenny Pickett, who stinks, and it's 3rd and 12, and you got to drop back. Here's Trey Hendrickson over here. Here's Sam Hubbard over here. Here's Miles Murphy coming at you. Or they put Chris Jones on the edge. Because you can sometimes, I'm not knocking Hubbard too much, but you can take him off the field in pass rush situations sometimes. He's not the effective rusher that Hendrickson is. But
you can.
So you could, they're not typically, you roll out a 4-man front if you want. Here's Hendrickson, here's Hubbard, here's Jones, here's Miles Murphy. Bam, let's go get it. So like that shit can happen. Now, how much is Lou going to toy with the defense on the passing downs? I don't know. He likes to drop 8. He likes to do creative stuff with the safeties. I get it. But it just opens the door for a lot more. And you are replacing the every down guy in DJ Reader if you make this signing. I could plead this case all day. You see the thumbnail. It's Duke Tobin, Katie Blackburn. If they want to talk to me, get me in a room. We'll figure something out. I could be on the soapbox all night for Chris Jones. I'm not going to do that because it's just I could go on and on about it. But you got guys that you want to talk about too, so I don't want to take away from that. And shout out to Ben Schramm back in the chat, says that my haircut is bad for the Cincy hat business. When I get a haircut, you cannot tell me shit for 3 to 5 business days. So I got a good weekend coming up. It was a practice run before wedding at the end of the month. So shout out to you for tuning in, Ben. Now, Ron has some guys that he would like to see the Bengals target. And you want to start with offense? I did?
Yeah, same order. Let's do the same order offense. The first guy that I think I would like to see the Bengals sign, and again, there's a lot of this guys out there, is Mike Onwenu from New England. So he's a guy that New England predominantly played at guard, right? I think that's his home position. I will not sound as educated on a Patriot as I would as a Bengals offensive lineman, but he rotated around and he played, pretty solid at every position they threw him into: tackle, guard, swing. He was in there and he gave it his all. He is a guy I think comes in to the Bengals locker room, and we immediately put him at guard to compete against Volson and the other side to start and or be a solid backup. It's we live in a world right now where offensive line is always going to be a need. We've done a great job at signing guys, Orlando Brown, Kappa, Karras, all these guys coming in and making Cincinnati their home. But I'd really like to solidify that guard position here. And I think you're looking at signing the guy for not very much. I mean, I'm looking at Spot Track here. They're talking about, I mean, a year deal, right? We can go with that. You can sign him to multiple years. Who knows? I think he's coming off of a 4-year, like $3 million contract split up over those 4 years. So he's not going to be breaking the bank for the Cincinnati Bengals. And he's a guy that can come in and I think make an immediate impact at the guard position specifically.
Michael Winu, Michigan man.
Yeah, there you go. That too. Michigan guy.
We both have a Patriot who's a Michigan man because the Patriots love drafting people from Michigan. Winovich, Uche, and Winu. And he can play multiple positions, like you said. He's played tackle. He's played guard. He can compete with Volson. He can compete with a rookie if we draft one at right tackle. Or you go out, you get Jermaine Illuminor, you get Michael Winu. He's going to push Volson. One or two things is going to happen. He's going to be better than Volson. He's going to take his job. Or he's going to make Cordell Volson better, and Cordell Volson is going to become the guard that he can be, and we need him to be. A little bit of breaking news that just came through as we do the show, not to take away from the Bengals, but it is loosely Bengals related. The Dallas Cowboys have hired Mike Zimmer as their defensive coordinator, former Bengals defensive coordinator. Love Mike Zimmer. Wanted him to replace Marvin Lewis before he took off to Minnesota. So shout out to old Zim for getting back in the game. So good for him. But that's just a little sidebar, something I just come through the old tweeter notification. That's per Tom Pellisario.
That's awesome. Love seeing Zim get a job. 100%. Absolutely. Loses out with the Vikings, moves on, and hopefully can remain in the NFL. Yeah, that's you just said it best too. With a guy like, whether it's Onwenu or Illuminor, right? There's no wrong answer in breeding competition in your practice and your camps and everything for these offensive line positions, right? Either, like you said, either you're going to drive the guy that's been here for a little bit to play his best football, or he's going to beat that guy out and you have a better guy at the position. So,
yeah, perfect. Win-win.
Yeah, 100%. So moving on to my defensive guy, this is kind of a goofy one, right? Because we've had this type of guy in the house, maybe not with the same overall resume and skill set as a guy like Stephon Gilmore, who is my defensive guy. I would not mind them going out and getting. Look, I get it. He's not what he used to be. I think if you give him like a 1-year veteran, come in, play with us, let's go get a Super Bowl, and be that veteran presence in our cornerback locker room, it's a win. I really do. This could fall probably into the unrealistic category as well as this defensive category. I'm aware of that. This is a stretch. But if Cheeto happens to move on, if he goes somewhere and doesn't remain with Cincinnati and provide that veteran presence, why not? Championship teams go out and get these guys. Go get Gilmore on a 1-year contract, right? You don't have to break the bank with him. He might want a little bit more money than your average corner, right? But go get him. Bring him in to be the veteran presence in the locker room and play good football probably with us. And do it. You know what I mean? You got a young secondary. Bring in a veteran so he can teach these guys just the tricks of the trade that he's developed over the years.
I love the idea of bringing old Gilly Lock into Cincinnati to replace Cheeto, to play that veteran role. He's bounced around a little bit, but
sure,
he has a similar build. At least from what I remember. I could be completely wrong here in the chat and tell me I'm an idiot. But I feel like he's got a similar build as Cam Taylor-Britt and a similar play style to Cam Taylor-Britt, to where I think that he could really help teach him, because as good as CTB is, he's young. He's still got things to learn. And Stephon Gilmore is a good guy that could, teach him and give him tips. And lose a reclamation guy with defensive. He got damn good football out of Eli Apple for 2
Oh,
years.
yeah,
Everybody
100%.
likes to blow up the Eli Apple. If he gives up he gave up like 19 yards in the Super Bowl, happens to be to Cooper Cup and a touchdown, and it looks like shit. But like overall, Eli Apple was damn good, and Lou got that out of him. So like Stephon Gilmore's a guy that probably wants to win. He's getting maybe toward the end of his career. Probably would come a little bit cheaper if he's going to a team that he believes can win a Super Bowl. And let's not get anything confused with how the Bengals year went. Players around the league recognize healthy Joe Burrow means
Oh, yeah.
chance at a Super Bowl. Players get that. All that internet shit, don't worry about that. Players know if number 9 is going to be healthy, I can go there and I can win a ring. So I think that I don't know if it's that unrealistic.
Yeah, I think the only reason I maybe put it in the unrealistic category is because it's a big name, right? When's the last time we signed a massive, massive name, right? It's just not something we go out and do. But I love the idea, and I've convinced myself it would be a great idea if Cheeto doesn't stay. I think in a perfect world, Cheeto stays and provides continuity and a little bit of that veteran leadership. But man, bringing in Gilly Locke to replace that, I just think would be phenomenal. And you don't got to ask the guy to come in and be the star he was of yesteryear, right? Because it's not a realistic thing to ask. But again, beat a dead horse here. Veteran leadership, being able to teach these young guys the tricks of the trade is my goal here.
Yeah, and if Cheeto does move on, you're going to want some kind of veteran presence in there to not only help CTB, but to help DJ Turner too. DJ Turner showed a lot of really good stuff early, struggled a little bit more down the stretch. He's a rookie. Shit happens. Not a big deal. But he's another guy that could benefit from learning from a guy who has been at the top of the game, like Stephon Gilmore. So that's one that I would actually really, really like. And then you've got a unrealistic player you'd like to see signed. And I think that we're probably going to disagree on this one, but I'm going to go
Mhm.
ahead. I'm going to let you make your point. I'm going to make you big on the screen again. You tell us who it is, and I'm going to try to time it up. So as soon as you say his name, it pops up on the screen like we're professionals and shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, people are going to hate this one, I think. But this is the wild card unrealistic category, and it's my wild card unrealistic category. So strap into your seats and shut up and listen because I am bringing Derrick Henry to the Cincinnati Bengals on a 1-year contract to see what he can do to this run game. Okay. We've got Joe Mixon. I understand that. He's probably going to have to take a pay cut this year, right? We've drafted a young guy who's proven he can do some things this past year in Brown, right? I don't know how many downs Brown is going to take next year. What percentage is he going to take the rock? What's Joe Mixon going to look like next year, right? He proved a lot of doubters wrong this past season, and I more power to him. I love it. I do. But how fun would it be to bring in Derrick Henry, who would love to probably come get a ring on a 1-year, under $10 million contract to just run the rock, pass block, do all the stuff this giant running back can do. Now, I know 90% of the people listening to this right now probably are like, dude, you're a stupid idiot. But this is my wild card pick, so I don't care. You cannot tell me it would not be fun to watch Derrick Henry and Stripes run the football down anybody and everybody's throat.
You're a stupid idiot.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. You're not a stupid idiot. Well, we're both stupid idiots, but
Yes. Yeah.
if Derrick Henry were to come to Cincinnati, Joe Burrow's going to have to get under center a whole lot more. And Joe Burrow doesn't like going under center. I know they were planning on doing it before his calf got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Callahan had said that. Now, trying to take a guy from Callahan. Now, this is obviously expecting Derrick Henry to get released by the Titans because I think he has a year left on his deal. But you've got a regime change. You've got a new guy coming in. Is Callahan going to run the style of offense that suits Derrick Henry best? Probably not, like Mike Vrabel did. So I could see him moving on. I don't feel like he really fits the offense that the Bengals run at all. That being said, I can't I can't act like I hate the prospect of Derrick Henry finding one more year in his prime and being the guy that we saw stiff arm Josh Norman into oblivion and run through the whole Jags defense for a touchdown. Had a big run against the Bengals in that game where CTB came up from like 40 yards downfield, stripped the ball out from him. They got it back, but so like the guy still has it, I guess. I don't know if the Titans are going to be wanting to, continue to pay him just because he does have a good contract. But would he take a smaller deal for a team like Cincinnati where he thought he could win? Maybe. But I personally don't feel like he fits the Bengals offense at all.
So here's the thing: the Titans could throw a tag at him, right? And it's like $13 million, okay? But if they don't, and they go, hey man, go find a home. You're signing the guy for under $9 million easily. And I get that he might not totally fit the perfect offense in your head. I get it. But imagine the option to go under center and have him back there, right? Imagine the option to do that. Like it's again, this is a wild card signing, a dream signing. Probably wouldn't happen, right? We're living in la la land. But imagine the option of, holy shit, what is Burrow doing under center? Oh my God, Derrick Henry's back there. Or Derrick Henry and Joe Mixon are split back there. What's going on? Is this is he gonna get the ball, drop back and pass it to Mixon, or is the ball getting handed off to Henry? Like just the packages that could be utilized with those two running backs back there it's a circus, a total circus. And I'm well aware this is a crazy, crazy signing.
You son of a bitch. You just made me do it. Yeah. I just pictured a 2-back set. Dude. Derrick Henry and Chase Brown.
Could you imagine?
Like, what's he going to do? Is he going to give it to this guy that can run through our face, or is he going to toss it to this little fast guy that can take it 60 yards to the house? So, like, I could see how they could, maybe make it work. I think this may be the most unrealistic of all. But hey, that's what we're here for, baby. This is a wildly unrealistic signing. So if they went out and did it, I could find myself to get on board with it. I want to give a quick shout out to the Zebra, Elliot Rearing from Chatterbox Sports. They do a lot of really good stuff. He's one of my favorite Cincinnati media people. He says he's currently at a bowling alley and he can't hear me, but my haircut is making him tingly. If that continues, maybe talk to a doctor, consult, consult maybe some help. But he didn't leave you out. He also said that you look handsome as well. So we've got that covered. And he brings up a great point. Everybody that's watching should like this stream. Now, this does help us. I know that we keep teasing cool stuff that we have going on. Ron ended up having to go to undisclosed location on the other side of the planet. So sorry, still no updates on that. But please like the stream. What the is that real?
I don't. That's for you to decide.
I mean, I'm not. I have a gun within reach, but I'm not going to grab it. Kids don't use those. Baja Blast Zero, by the way, trying to lose a few pounds before our wedding day.
Okay. Well, that'll do it. Can we do honorable mentions real quick?
Yeah.
So
I have the graphics for them, but.
Okay, yeah, no graphics. Doesn't matter. So my honorable mention here would involve a trade, and I'm not going to go down the T. Higgins trade path but this is a scenario where T. Higgins plays for another team. I want T. Higgins in Cincinnati, so don't try to quote me saying I don't. But Kyle Pitts.
Oh no, I love it. Love it.
Kyle Pitts in stripes. He has not been utilized properly in Atlanta. I don't know if they know how to use players, period, in Atlanta. Take a look at Bijan Robinson this year. Imagine. Yeah, exactly. Oh, who's a Steeler now? So good on you, Pittsburgh, you morons. But imagine worst case scenario where we have to lose T. Higgins, right? That sucks. We don't want to lose him. But imagine if we lose T. Higgins, right? But gain a Kyle Pitts. I think a quarterback like Joe Burrow, and I don't hate Desmond Ridder. He's a Cincinnati Bearcat. I have so much love for Desmond Ridder. But I think a quarterback like Joe Burrow, who has a history at this point of turning tight ends into money contracts, could make Kyle Pitts look like the star he's supposed to be.
Atlanta drafted Kyle Pitts, and then they were like, yo, maybe we should, like, people were like, hey, maybe you should throw the ball to, didn't they draft him like,
They
were they top 10?
They drafted, yeah, I think so. They drafted him and Drake London, who was supposed to be outstanding and has just really not been insane, right? Yeah. So, and Tony makes a good point, right? My Derrick Henry was a fun thing, right? But my honorable mention here is probably a more like realistic one that would be awesome and actually help the team because we need a tight end. We're talking about drafting tight ends. And again, this is a scenario probably where you lose T. Higgins to Atlanta, most likely in this scenario. But dude, I say it again. I think Joe Burrow would make Kyle Pitts look like a star.
They just don't use him. And then Raheem Mostert comes in as the head coach, and he's talking about what excites him about the offense. He's like, oh, Drake London, Bijan Robinson. He doesn't even mention Kyle Pitts. Like they have shown that they don't value the guy. So, dude, I'm all in on the Bengals trading some capital for Kyle Pitts because I've been saying it. My buddies that are Browns fans have told me for years since Burrow got in the league, you've got to go get him a true threat tight end.
Mm-hmm.
Hayden Hurst was good. He moved on, whatever. But if you could go get Kyle Pitts, he's coming up. He's going to be extension eligible too. So maybe you have to factor that into it if he does come in and have a great year. But my God, dude, even if it's a 1-year rental, if Atlanta let him go for not too much capital, put him in that offense, and let's just say you lose Higgins.
Yeah.
Kind of for your scenario. I would love to see them have Pitts if they kept Higgins, even if they tagged Higgins.
Holy crap.
Okay. Joe Burrow's in the gun. I want you to defend this. Here's Jamar Chase. Here's T. Higgins. Here's Kyle Pitts. Maybe Kyle Pitts lined up out in the slot. Or you have Yoshi, Charlie Jones, whoever you're going to put in the slot if Tyler Boyd moves on. Holy shit.
Dude.
And
you got Pitts, Chase, Higgins, all those guys. And then like you just said, if it's not going to one of them three, you got a white dude named Chuck Sizzle in the slot who's going to toast you. Like if Kyle Pitts comes to Cincinnati and T. Higgins stays, just hang the banner. I'm sorry. Like it would be unbelievable.
Derek on Twitter with a Twitter comment. This is real life. Kyle Pitts was taken a pick before Jamar Chase. He was taken 4th before Jamar Chase. That is correct. Insane. That is wild to me. They put a top 4 pick into this guy, and they just don't throw him the damn ball. It doesn't make sense. Bring him home. Or not home. He's probably never even been to Cincinnati. But we could use him. Yes. It can be home. 100%. Holy shit.
There was a point in the Sewell Jamar Chase debate where Kyle Pitts was like the other option that people were saying to draft. I mean, I remember that. Like,
yeah. I was even on that. Like, I would live with Kyle Pitts there.
I know.
So that would,
yeah. And in that scenario, I think Higgins is gone. I think you're forming a super team at the point of Higgins and him being here. But I don't know if that's realistic. And again, honorable mention. We're living in la la land here. Kyle Pitts to Cincinnati would be electric.
Tony says Tanner Hudson touchdown bet odds would go through the roof.
Yeah.
Or go to the stratosphere if Burrow has Pitts. And I love to throw a little cash down on a Drew Sample anytime touchdown or T. Huddy anytime touchdown. Drew Sample pending free agent too.
Yeah.
The answer to the Bengals is Drew Sample in open space. Shout out Reed Mouse.
Do you have an honorable mention just off the rip, off the top of your head? Can you think of anybody?
I didn't really think of an honorable mention, to be completely honest with you. I kind of locked in on those 3.
Yep. Fair enough.
I could look up, let's just do that. What are we doing? How much time we got? 34 minutes. We're not even at the 45 mark. We've been going for an hour anyway.
Look up an honorable mention, and then we'll roll into some of these coaching hires and promotions. We can talk about that after that. But there's a lot of guys out there, man. And I kind of wish I did my wild card signing as Kyle Pitts. Henry just was so fun. It was like the cute choice. Like, oh, look, he picked Derrick Henry, right? So I don't know. But now, like, good Lord, I might start pounding the table for Pitts on Twitter. That would just be so freaking fun, man. You pulling up free agents?
Yeah, I'm just kind of scrolling through some of the. You know what? Actually, I would like. I just saw his
Go.
name and it's made me think that I've thought this in my mind. I don't know if I've said it publicly, but let's say you do lose T. Higgins.
Okay.
You. So this is you tag and trade him, or he refuses to play on the tag, and you don't think he's going to show up. Whatever. T. Higgins isn't on the Bengals next year in whatever situation. Mike Evans.
I thought you were going to say him or
replace T.
Odell.
Higgins. Mike Evans to replace T. Higgins does excite me. Mike Evans is still balling in Tampa, and he did it with Baker, who had a solid year, but he could do it with Burrow. So okay, T. Higgins is gone. You don't get T. Higgins for the next 5 years. Okay, can you get 1 or 2 years out of Mike Evans? Is Mike Evans going to take a little less money to play with a quarterback like Burrow with a shot to win a ring? Mike Evans is still a deep ball threat that would really help alleviate the loss of a T. Higgins. So my honorable mention is Mike Evans. Zach Donche, I'm sorry, man. You DM me when we weren't on. I was letting you know we were having camera problems. You got to tell me like phonetically how to say your name so I say it more correct. Danielle Hunter from the Vikings is another good one, an edge rusher that I think could be a good fit for the Bengals. I saw that name too. So I think that is a very, very good point. So shout out to you. I will learn how to pronounce your name one day, and it probably won't take as long as it took Ron to learn how to pronounce it, Marici.
Marici. So I had
Hey.
mental stat here, but hold on. Let's finish up Mike Evans real quick. Every year he has been in the league. He was drafted in 2014. It is now the year of our Lord 2024. Mike Evans has busted the 1,000-yard mark every single season since 2014.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's 10 years. 10 years.
In 2018,
do that with Burrow with Chase over there taking all the, taking on the main attention.
I don't know who his quarterback was in 2018, but he had 1,524 yards. Was Baker his quarterback the entire season this year?
I think he missed a couple games. I don't know who their backup is, but I think Baker missed a couple games, but he was the primary starter from the gun.
With Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans had 1,255 yards this season. I like Baker. No shade to Baker. But dude, if we brought in Mike Evans, I don't know what kind of money he would want. Holy shit.
I think, and maybe I'm wrong, because the receiver market's getting higher, right? These guys are getting crazy money, but is he on the back end of his career? Like, I've been in Tampa. He did win one with Brady, so maybe he's not as motivated to win a Super Bowl as he would be if he had never won one. But man, that would be a good one.
It would be cool. It is kind of, I don't know how it would happen though, because like if you look, it's Tampa. He's been a Buccaneer his entire career, so who knows if that's a guy that's like, yep, I'm retiring in Tampa. So I don't know.
Could be. I wanted to say though, we kind of got on close to it. We're going to find out tonight if Ted Karras has won Walter Payton Man of the Year at the NFL Honors tonight. We are. He won the fan challenge. St. Tattie's Day still on for March 17th. I still don't remember the name of the tattoo parlor. I got one later on somewhere.
I don't either. I don't know that I've seen the name of the tattoo parlor. I've been out of town, so my direct messages are full of people telling me I need to go jump off a bridge or like Russian spy bots. So I gotta get through all those. But
I had a big run of porn bots.
Yes,
tons. Chicks posting gross stuff. But now it's switched, and I've got like war bots where like they're just telling me one side of whatever war's going on that I don't know anything about, and I just keep getting spam replies about like people are dying, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know whose side we're on, but people are dying. That sucks. But why are you putting it under my tweet about fucking?
I'm not getting those so much as women who if I were a single man and they approached me, I would look for cameras around me. That I get those still. So I don't know. We'll see.
I've got war bots and not porn bots. I weeded out the porn bots, but now we got
That's
war
good.
bots. War bots.
On to the next one. But we got a little sidetrack there, right?
We
Ted
always do.
Karras. We figure out tonight if he wins the big award, right? The Walter Payton Man of the Year award. We all, as a fan base, did our part to get him that internet challenge, and hand deliver from the fan base. I believe it was $35,000 directly to the village of Medici, who is such a good organization. Ted's been working with them through the Cincy Hat Project, also the Indy Hat Project. If you're from that neck of the woods, they provide housing for adults with disabilities, and it's you can't ask for a better cause. Go to cincyhat.com right now. We will continue to pound the table for them. We don't take a cent from them or anything for any advertising we do for them.
No.
We simply love their cause, love their crew, love Ted Karras. Go buy a hat, go buy a onesie, go buy a t-shirt. There's a ton of new ones dropping. I think some signature pieces. Somebody mentioned in the chat, right? Cincy hat, Ted
Tony
Karras. Yeah. Signature
Tony said
hat
he got his
arrived.
today.
They look good, man. They really embroidered the signature on the side there. We don't have a picture for you. Sorry. This is not even an ad read. I think we just love talking about Cincy hat. We love them.
Darth Bingle got his too.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to Darth Bingle. And now I may not get everybody's name in here that is involved, and if I forget you, I apologize. But I've seen Darth Bingles. He's helped printing up those chains right there. He's working with Bengals and Bourbon. Bengals Brews is involved in it. Maybe Bengals Captain. I don't know. They all kind of tailgate together. But there are a lot of people. If I forgot to name you, I apologize. Project Game Day is going on. What an incredibly cool cause where I think it's first responders and military where they're
Yeah.
raising funds and trying to help those people get to their first Bengals games. What an awesome thing! I shared their Venmo the other day. I love what they're doing. Anything I can do to help out, I'd be glad to. But that's what made me think of it. There's a big group of people, Bengals and Brews guys. Dale Altman, you got Joe over there, you got Dale over there.
Killer dudes. Yeah.
If I forget anybody, it's not to be a dick. There's just a lot of people involved. But I did want to bring up, I think it's an incredibly cool thing that they're doing, and I look forward to helping support it going forward because that's badass.
We've really, really just got a wonderful fan base between Cincy hat. Sorry, I was reading a comment. I thought somebody was telling me I had 1,000-yard stare. But between Cincy hat and then like Dale and Bourbon and those guys, like they're just Bengals fans like you and I. And the fact that they're working with other fans on something that is, I mean, obviously close to my heart. I've been in the Army for over 13, going on 14 years now. So like, so awesome. And like anything I can do to help also, just like Drew said, holler, dude. I'll throw a jersey their way, whatever, man. It's such a cool cause. Super cool, man. So yeah, go buy
Absolutely.
a Cincy hat, go buy a Cincy anything. And if you see Dale and those guys on Twitter, man, reach out, see if you can do anything to help them, because that's another cause that's just totally awesome.
Yeah, man. I mean, Tony the Tiger gets kids to their first games all the time. He's up for NFL Fan of the Year. I think that might be announced tonight too. Let's hope he wins. I voted for him a bunch. Bengal Jim raises money at his tailgate, gives it all to charity, post receipts. I mean, just so much cool stuff goes on in this fan base, and it may happen in every other fan base in America, and I just don't see it because I live on Bengals Twitter and not around the place. But what a really, really, really cool group of fans to be involved with. So yeah, man, I think that's awesome. So got a couple shout outs to the good causes going in there. We've talked a little bit of free agency. It's 9:01. The NFL honors are starting now. Let's end this stream. Let people flip on the NFL honors so we can hopefully watch Ted Karras bring home the Walter Payton Man of the Year. Now, I do want to point out, end of the month. I don't know if we're going to be able to do a show because I do all this graphics camera work, and I'm going to be in Vegas probably up hundreds of thousands of dollars on the blackjack table.
Give me the login and let me ruin our reputation.
We can do that too. So we'll have to talk about that, but we will have something next week. We're gonna have to figure out what the hell to talk about.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can kind of work in some of those things
Yep.
as we go. That's all I got. I ain't got nothing else. I was glad to talk to you guys in the chat. We're finding things to talk about. We're fighting through technical difficulties. Somehow my camera stayed on the whole time when at 8:00 when we were supposed to be on, the thing wouldn't stay on for 2 minutes. So maybe my cussing and screaming and actually my entire computer setup and everything falling onto the ground when my child tripped over the cord fixed something. So we're back. That's all I got. Love everybody in the chat. Ron, we've got so much to talk about next week. Actually, we don't. We're going to have to figure out what the hell we're going to do. That's all I got, man. You got anything else for him?
I got nothing. No, I'm glad you like your camera's working out of fear. I got nothing.
I was so pissed 60 minutes ago. You could hear me because my mic was working. I'm screaming cuss words I shouldn't say on YouTube. I was pissed. But you know what? Good show, good smooth stream, good activity from the chat. Got a compliment from the woman, said I look really hot with my haircut. So you know what? I'm back, baby. I'm riding high. I'm back. We're going to go watch Ted Karras win Walter Payton Man of the Year. We'll see you guys next week. I got nothing left but a big, fat hooday.
Hooday.